Welcome to Chapter 1 of our series, Python in 7 Days, Automate Your Boring Work. In today's episode, titled Day 1, Why Python? The 5 tasks you'll automate this week, we'll explore 5 specific tasks that you can tackle with Python to make your life a whole lot easier. So, if you're ready to uncover how this powerful tool can transform your daily routine, let's dive in. Last week, a global survey quietly crowned Python the world's most popular programming language. Yet most people still copy-paste data by hand, rename files one by one, and forward the same emails every Monday. This week, you'll start teaching your computer to do those chores for you. You don't need a computer science degree to start bending your digital life to your will. Just a few tiny scripts. This week, you'll see how a handful of short Python files can quietly take over chores you're probably doing by hand right now. Shuffling files into folders, grabbing bits of the web, nudging you with timely alerts, untangling messy spreadsheets, and pulling live data from online services. Think less learning a programming language, more teaching your laptop a few new habits. A dozen lines of code can rename hundreds of files in seconds, or clean a month's worth of reports while you make coffee. Like prepping ingredients before cooking, you'll set up simple, reusable steps that turn scattered digital tasks into quick, repeatable recipes you can run whenever you need them. Today, you'll zoom in on just 5 areas where Python quietly shines: your files, the web, your inbox, your spreadsheets, and online services. Instead of thinking in abstract features, you'll look at real, annoying patterns in your week, like hunting for the latest report, copying values out of a browser table, or checking a tracking page 3 times a day, and map each one to a tiny script. It's closer to reorganizing a cluttered kitchen. You're not rebuilding the house, you're deciding what should always live within arm's reach, then teaching your machine to keep it that way. Start with where Python actually shows up in real workplaces. In a 2022 JetBrains survey, nearly half of Python users said they rely on it for everyday scripting, moving reports, stitching together tools, poking APIs. That's the mindset for this week, not building big apps, but shaving the rough edges off the work you already do. You'll focus on 5 concrete pressure points that drain time. First, file management. Think about download folders overflowing with exports, receipts, and screenshots. Python's standard library includes modules that can scan a directory, recognize patterns in file names or dates, and shuffle things into the right place. You can go from somewhere in downloads to neatly labeled archives that maintain themselves every day. Second, web data collection. Anytime you highlight a table in your browser just to paste it into a document, there's a repeatable structure behind it. With packages from PyPI, you can grab the page, locate the bits that matter, and save only the useful rows or fields. No scraping giant websites, just capturing the specific snippets you touch regularly. Third, notifications. Instead of checking dashboards or inbox folders on a loop, you'll learn to trigger a message only when something interesting happens. A file appears, a value crosses a threshold, a shipment status changes. Python can talk to email providers or SMS gateways, so your attention is pulled exactly when needed, not by constant refreshing. Fourth, spreadsheet cleanup. Those slightly different every-time reports, extra header rows, stray spaces, inconsistent date formats, are perfect candidates. The same sequence of fixes you apply by hand can become a repeatable transformation using a library that handles tabular data at scale. Fifth, API lookups. Many services you use at work expose small, well-documented endpoints for weather, shipping, payments, metrics. Python shines as the glue that calls those endpoints, extracts just the fields you care about, and feeds them into your files or dashboards. Together, these 5 areas cover most of the repetitive, digital paperwork that clutters a knowledge worker's week. Your goal isn't to automate everything. It's to notice where a pattern keeps reappearing, and let Python quietly take the next turn doing it. Start with something tiny and concrete. On day 2, you might point one script at a single test folder. Every PDF with invoice in the name hops into a new invoices directory. Anything older than 90 days moves into Archive 2025 Q1. Once that feels safe, the same pattern can quietly tame project folders, photo dumps, or client handoffs. For web data, imagine targeting just one recurring status page, a shipment tracker, an internal dashboard, a currency rate. Instead of copying numbers into a doc, you capture them to a dated CSV so you can see how they've changed over time. A few days later, those tiny snapshots start to feel like a custom logbook you never had to maintain by hand. For alerts, you might begin with a single "if this, ping me" rule. When a certain metric crosses a line, or when a monthly export lands in a shared drive. The goal isn't cleverness. It's reducing the number of tabs you need to babysit before lunch. Your challenge this week? Identify one narrow case in each of the 5 areas: files, web snippets, alerts, spreadsheets, and APIs, where you touch the same thing at least 3 times. Don't try to fix everything. Just write down the exact clicks and keystrokes you repeat. That list becomes your roadmap for the rest of the week. 5 small, specific chores you'll hand off, one by one, instead of hoping you'll remember to automate later. As tools around you evolve, those tiny experiments start to matter more than any single script. Low-code dashboards, workflow builders, even some SaaS rules engines are quietly adding places to drop in short Python snippets. Knowing how to shape logic means you're not limited to whatever buttons the UI designer imagined. It's like moving from reheating frozen meals to adjusting the recipe mid-cook. Small tweaks compound into systems that fit your team instead of the other way around. By the weekend, you won't just have 5 neat tricks, you'll have a new way to spot friction. Each time a tiny routine quietly does its job, notice what else could be tuned next: a status check, a boring export, a finicky report. Like straightening one crooked picture frame and suddenly seeing the whole wall, small fixes reveal the next upgrades waiting in plain sight. Start with this tiny habit. When you sit down at your computer and open your browser, type python.org into the address bar and spend 30 seconds just scrolling the homepage. Then, copy the first simple "Hello World" example you see into a blank file called first_automation.py. Don't overthink it, just paste and save. Tomorrow, when you open your browser again, add one more line to that same file that prints something useful for you, like a reminder about a task you'd love to automate this week. For example, check sales.csv or rename download files. This was Owl Up, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow.